So I absolutely love chicken wings, and I never miss an excuse to do a batch of chicken wings. And today that excuse is the new Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill. We're going to do some wings on the pellet grill, see how they turn out. I'm actually going to use a method that I learned from Kenji Lopez's channel, one of my favorite YouTube channels. I've sort of done it before on different cookers, but we're gonna do it again today. So we'll get our wings prepped and ready, so let's get going. Okay, so I try to buy whole wings when I can. They're cheaper, but the biggest reason I buy the whole wings is because I like to use the wing tips for bone broth. They do great for bone broth. So all I do is to break them down is cut here and then cut that tip off, and then you've got your separate flapper, your separate drummy, and your tip for your bone broth. If you want to buy already broken down chicken wings, that's fine, or if you want to cook them whole, that's fine too. So the way I like to cut them is I like to cut through that skin, and if you kind of follow the angle of the drum down to the edge, you can find that joint and your knife will slide right through. It's beautiful. If you use a big heavy knife, that helps, and then even if you have to cut through the bone, you can. It's not a terribly big deal. And if you find that joint here, and I find the joint is usually more towards the flapper than the tip. If you can find that, it should go just as easy. And sometimes, there we go. So then you've got your flapper, your drummy, and your tip. So I'm going to do that to all of these wings and get them separated, and then we will come back and go on to the next step. So the weight of the chicken that we had before we cut the tips off was 5.5 pounds, almost exactly. I want to know how much chicken we have left after removing the wing tips, so I am going to weigh these wing tips. Should be maybe 1/2 pound, I'm not sure. We'll find out. Just over 1/2 pound, so 8.5 ounces. So it started out as 5.5 pounds, take off just over 1/2 pound, so we have 5 pounds of chicken. So perfect, that'll make things easy. So we'll get things out of the way here. I'll show you why that matters here in just a second. Okay, the reason we wanted to weigh that out is we're going to use 3 ingredients, and we're going to use them at a ratio of 1 teaspoon per pound of chicken. So I've got some Diamond Crystal kosher salt here, I've got some cornstarch, and I've got some baking powder. So we're just going to grab the salt first, teaspoon per pound. I'm going to sprinkle 3 teaspoons on of each first. And then we're going to mix the chicken around and go from there. So, and I can't recite the science behind it, but the baking powder and the cornstarch will really help crisp up the chicken wings, and crispy chicken wings are where it's at. Okay, so there is our 3 teaspoons of our ingredients. We have 2 more to do. I'm actually going to grab a glove. There we go. And we're just going to give these a mix. You don't necessarily have to break it up like this, but I just think you can get some better coverage if you kind of go in stages. There we go, that's good. So now we're going to do 2 more teaspoons of each ingredient. There we go. There we go. Okay. And then we're just going to mix again. So get a good mix on these. So I will bring you back and then show you what we're going to do for the next step. See you in just a couple of minutes. All right, so we're going to get these out on a wire rack and then get them in the refrigerator uncovered. It'll probably be, gosh, 4 hours or so. You could do these overnight, and in fact, Kenji recommends if you have water-cooled chicken wings, which I can't find air-cooled chicken wings, then overnight is even better. I don't have overnight today, so we're going to do what we can do, which is going to be a few hours. So I'm going to get these lined up on this baking tray with this cooling rack so we can get the airflow around it. These may or may not all fit on here. We'll see. If I have to grab another one, I've got some half trays with cooling racks too. We'll just fill those up. But then these are going to go into the fridge just like this until we're ready to cook. So I think the next time I bring you out will be when I get the cooker started. Again, we're going to do these on the YS640 pellet cooker, and they're going to be good. So we'll bring you back in a little while, a few hours. I'm probably about 30 minutes or so from wanting to put these wings on the cooker. So I'm going to get this thing going. I think it's important to not only get the air temperature of your cooker up to where you want it, but really get everything in there heat soaked. You know, you don't, just because the cooker says 400, your grill grates might not be that temperature. So I always want to give it enough time to get it up there. So, and I am going to set this for 400. Here we go. So we are heating up, and we'll bring you back when we put the chicken wings on. So see you in a little bit. All right, let's get these wings on. We have been at temperature now for probably 10 or 15 minutes, so got everything in there good and heat soaked. I did come out off camera and I sprayed a little avocado oil on the upper rack, which is where I intend to put these, just to try to prevent some sticking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the cooker, and I'm going to pull the top rack out a little bit, and then I'm just going to start getting these on. Kind of going to try to do it quickly so I don't lose a ton of heat. It's a little chilly here, so here we go. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to try to put these what would be skin side up. The flats, that's kind of easy, a little bit more nebulous on the drummies, but we'll get it done. All right, there we go. So we will bring you back. Okay, so been 30 minutes exactly. Let's take a look here. Ooh. Boy, those are pretty. You can see the skin. You can feel it getting crisp. Kenji Lopez is a genius. They're beautiful. I'm going to get this lid closed and I'll talk for just another minute. So just going to let these go. Of course, chicken is good and safe at 165, but as I've said before on wing videos, wings you can take up, I like them 180 to 190. You can even go higher. You'll have some smaller flats that may even hit 200. So I'm going to give these another 15-20 minutes, and then I'm going to bring a thermometer out and we'll take our first temperature. And wings are very forgiving, so these are looking great so far. We'll bring you back. So I just love to throw sauces together with stuff that's in the fridge. We happen to have a couple of half bottles here. We've got some Montgomery Inn barbecue sauce, which is a reasonably local barbecue joint down in the Cincinnati area. I love their barbecue sauce. We've got half a bottle of Frank's Red Hot. I've also got a little bit of Pulaski's Polish style mustard. And we've got half a stick of butter melting in a pot. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our half bottle of Frank's and get it in that butter. And that kills that bottle of Frank's. And I just spilled a little. We'll get our whisk out and just start incorporating that butter in that Frank's. And that's kind of a traditional buffalo sauce right there. By the way, because I knew we were going to have sauce with the wings, that's why I really only did salt to dry brine the wings in the refrigerator. I didn't want to do a lot of extra spices when I knew I'd be doing some sauce. All right. There we go. Don't fall in there. Now we'll use our Montgomery & barbecue sauce. One of my favorite sauces is sort of a spicier barbecue sauce, so I like to mix the buffalo and the barbecue. It's my fave. There we go. That kills that bottle. And the last thing we're going to do is just put just a little bit of this Polish mustard, just give it a little additional flavor profile. Not much at all. All right, there we go. So we're just going to use the whisk to incorporate that. So we're going to let this come up to temperature, make sure it's all incorporated. I will test it, see if it needs anything, but honestly, this is just pretty simple stuff with the pre-made sauces. So we will see you back out at the cooker. All right, we've been on for 45 minutes. Whew, lid got away from me. Ooh. Man, look at how golden brown those are. Those are beautiful. I'm gonna get a temp here. Just gonna, let me pick a good sized drum. If a good sized drum, whoa, 204. Is that an anomaly? No, it is not. We're done. I'm gonna start peeling these off and we'll get inside, show you how we're gonna eat these. Man, those are beautiful, crispy skin. They almost look like they're fried without a lot of breading, but still, they look fried. Gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna get these off, so I'm gonna turn the camera off and we'll get inside. It's cold out here, and we'll see you in a few minutes. So there is our platter of wings. They really look great. I've got one ready for me to try, but skin is nice and crispy. Those really almost resemble deep fried wings. I hope you can hear that. I don't know if you can, but they're gorgeous. I got my sauce. By the way, for the buffalo barbecue sauce, I added about 2 tablespoons of honey, something like that. And then I've got homemade ranch, which I did not do on camera, but you should search for that video. It is the best ranch you'll ever have. You will never go back to store-bought ranch again. It just doesn't even compare. So let me reset the camera here. I'm a flat guy. I've said that on videos before. And here we usually, sometimes I've tossed wings, but oftentimes I dip. And so I'm just going to dip right in that sauce. My chewing is probably obnoxious, but it's because they're crunchy. One of the best wings I've ever done. Comes out really good on the Yoder. And they're still really hot. Hey, appreciate you joining me on this cook. I love me a wing, never gets old. We will see you next time at BuQeye BBQ. Do me a favor, like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it. So good. I could eat 20 of those. Easy. See you next time, everybody.